Live. Hope you're having a terrific day. I'm off to a great start. Let's get going. What's today's subject? Collaboration. LinkedIn is all based on collaboration. It takes two or more to do a lot more. Now you talk about collaboration, it's a big term. What does it apply to? Well, it seems to apply to about every activity on LinkedIn because everything's based on being reciprocal, and you'll only continue to support people who continue to support your support. So, where does it start? Well, I think the first step is recognition. Identifying people and opportunities that really align with you, that are truly relevant, and that you can reach out and say, based on this, that's why I'm reaching out, and here's my intention. Mysteries don't sell very well on LinkedIn. It's much better to be out front, transparent, direct, not opaque. There's 900 million people or so on LinkedIn. You can't handle them all. And it's only fair to them that you share what you're looking for and opportunities that can benefit them for taking valuable time and providing it to you. Other ways, if you just go to specifics, is you could start with tagging. Tagging has huge potential. And let me show you, I'll share my screen. And let's just go to LinkedIn. And here's a post. And this is a great example. So you can see how many people I have tagged before in my post. Now, this is recognizing people, and everybody that's outlined here has an opportunity to be notified when they're tagged. So let's just say we take David, right? Quality guys, got 85,000 connections. You can see how many times, we've talked and, all the opportunities, and it goes back to August 20th. Well, that's one way. The other way is, if you look at what I also do, is if you go to activity, which is posts, and you can see that, in some cases, I have 656 likes on this one post. And this is a great opportunity to go back and thank these people and share that, I really appreciate their support. And that gives me an opportunity to, really focus on, I guess I wasn't sharing there, really focus on responding to them. Here, let me try that again, just so you see. So go there, go there, go there. Okay. And basically, if we look at, again, here's how many impressions, here's how many reactions, and this tells you who reacted. So here's what you need to look at. The other element that's very important to identify people that you want to recognize and reach out to, you can see our broadcast is taking place right here, is people who viewed your profiles. A lot of people neglect this. So here's people. Here's a gentleman, James Lee, in Singapore, 39,000 followers. We have a lot in common. We've talked in the past, I'm sure. So, this is reconnecting, but it's also collaborating. So getting back to, what we're dealing with here is there's multiple opportunities to reach out, identify, collaborate. Now, here's something that's really important, and I've been involved in it for about a year and a half, is developing, facilitating, and supporting collaborative groups, because there's so much more to knowledge sharing, so much more to empathetic support, so much more to community that makes LinkedIn not only survivable, but a lot of fun. And you get the feeling that if someone else can do it and they show how they started where you are, then you can do it. It's just a matter of adopting better practices and really working on the fundamentals that you can learn on your own, but it takes forever. So getting back to collaboration, you can do comments, you can do tags, you can do recognitions. One of my best working strategies was taking somebody I really wanted to know and make a post about them and then send it to them. You got to look at it from a standpoint of your ability to do better, faster, and bigger than everybody else around you. And that's how you'll get top of mind awareness. It's elevation. You got to get out of the crowd. You got to distinguish and differentiate yourself. And the way to do that is with other people. Find out the people that you want to be like and try to, ingratiate yourself through true value into getting into their consciousness and hopefully taking action. The way to do that is to provide more value longer than anybody else, make it relevant, and make sure when you show up, you've got the value to bring to them to justify the value they bring to you. That's the key to collaboration. It's fair exchange. Nobody wants to make money off of people. They want to make money with and for people. So collaboration is so important. When I went to tagging, I was tagging 125 people a day. My posts were just blowing up. 60, 70, 80,000 views, 1,600, 2,000 responses to polls. But the challenge is I was getting too much work. And what I decided is I would focus, target, and do more with less people in relationship to what we could do as collaborators. If you can find 3 or 4 people, there's a philosophy that you're the factor of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, who are you spending the most time with on LinkedIn, and how are they doing, and where do you see them going? If they're not going where you want to go, or they're not going fast enough, find people already are. I always learned it's better to copy and then innovate than try to create and create on your own, however that works out. So, there's so many opportunities, but they're not something that's flashing. You have to dig a little bit. This is like gold mining. The deeper you dig, the stronger the tools you use and how you use them, the more competitive and successful you become. And the key is why not buy some vowels to solve the puzzle? So with collaboration, what you're looking for is strength in numbers, but also a complement. Someone who brings something to the table you need and you don't, and vice versa. Someone you could spend a lot of time with and work well with. And the way to do it is see who's working with them. When I got this really significant high performance team of collaborators, it was because they were already way ahead of me. And what I did is I connected with a lot of people they were tagging, a lot of people that were commenting with them. You got to find your tribe. You got to find the group that you really want to work with. And you also have to be altruistic enough and patient enough to let it happen. And the thing is too many people put their pole in the water and they wait and come back and see if anything caught. I'm into, if it's going to be, it's up to me. And the sooner you get going, the less you start thinking about the people and the opportunities that aren't going for you. Activity wins the day because 2 things. It takes your mind off of waiting and worrying. The other thing activity does is it teaches you as you go. There's a saying, there's no failure, only feedback. And LinkedIn is undiscovered. I'm sure I've seen people do tremendously well with less of the tools that are available today. And collaboration works. Because here's one more big thing about collaboration. It amplifies your message. People who don't know tagging, if I tag 10 people and they respond sincerely, not some engagement pod where everybody just raises their hand together, and that message amplifies through their network. So a lot of times you see connections as a single individual, they're actually a front door to their network. So somebody in another part of the world might have 10,000 great connections in let's say USA that you could leverage, and why take a trip with a car when you got half a tank of gas? So the other thing collaboration does is it builds audience. Content and audience is all there is. LinkedIn takes care of everything else. And the bigger voice you have, and the key is expand, polish your brand, and more importantly, gain not only top of mind awareness, but thought leadership. Be the person when someone says, hey, there's Don Cohen, he knows his stuff, or look at what he's doing. See, LinkedIn is very cool in that whatever you do, you get your report card that day. You could see who viewed it, who commented, whatever, and then make a decision tomorrow. What am I going to do? The same thing. And most people set and forget. I'm a big believer in, hey, if you're going to work as hard as you've worked for some other person who you probably didn't really like that much, possibly, why not work harder for yourself? Are you putting in 10-hour days on LinkedIn? Did you put in 10-hour days in the past? So anyways, cut the time, find some partners, go to doncohenconsulting.com. If you want to co-host a LinkedIn live show, I'd be glad to talk to you. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, share, please reach out to me either through chat or through direct messaging. Visit my profile. But here's the takeaway. Take inventory on who you have in your network already. There's too many people are planting and cultivating and never go back to harvest. They go back to planting. So see who you have. See how long it's been since you reached out. See what's changed between when you talked to them last and when you talk to them now. And here's the thing. The only reason for a conversation is an update. And the only reason for an update is something of value. If you just say, hey, it's been a while, George, let's have a call. What does that mean? Let's just talk. If you say, hey, George, I remember we were talking about this. I didn't have an answer. Something just came up. I think it's great. Let me show it to you. Those are the things. You have to engage in conversations to continue to build on those conversations, to build into relationships. It's all about relationships. You got to ring the doorbell before you bust through the door. So anyways, I can go on forever, and I probably will, but not on this show. So thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. I've got some new shows planned with some new people. This is starting to pick up traction. I think LinkedIn Live is the coolest thing on LinkedIn. I do it every day. Been doing it for 6 months. Anyways, love to help and always there. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Be safe.